Hi, Sun City ILR. I'm Mark Schwartz. I'm presenting a new course to you, and I hope to see you join me for World War II Technologies and Logistics. In this course, we're going to go explore things that you may not have heard too much about, things that helped the war effort, actually had a dramatic influence on the war and our lives today. And some of the technologies we'll discuss are radar, computers, and atomic powers, and trace them through to victory and the post-war. We'll also look at logistics. And while logistics, or supply chain, as many people call it today, seem rather uninspiring, it was a key to victory. And if you know of General Omar Bradley, who was a five-star at the end of the war, he had said that the amateurs study strategy and tactics, the professionals study logistics in war. And so we will look at how logistics through manufacturing and design made our weapon systems more reliable, more maintainable on the battlefield. In other words, if you can't sustain it on the battlefield, uh, in terms of it operating and getting fuel and ammunition and things to it, you're not going to win the war. Okay, design and producibility. We'll talk about the Sherman tank. Many people feel it was lackluster or poor, but yet you could have four Shermans to the cost of manufacturing one German Panther or Tiger tank. And the Shermans were a lot more reliable. We'll look at things like the railroads, moving people, raw materials, and finished products across the United States to sustain the wartime production surge. This was an unsung story, but vital in terms of making sure we had the wherewithal to go to war, to sustain war, to win war. Okay. We'll look at the fact that on D-Day, the Allies used some innovative logistics to sustain the lodgment in Normandy. In other words, the Allies, at Churchill's urging, built these floating harbors. They were codenamed Mulberries and very secret. And they were towed over after the initial landings, sunk there on the beaches or near the beaches. And these formed new man-made harbors to supply the D-Day operation. That was amazing. That was innovative, along with other things like the fact that at the time the troops were going across the channel, boats followed, laying pipeline, which was going to be a fuel line to the Normandy beaches to sustain forward movement of trucks and armored units. Uh, and what did the Germans do? Well, in retrospect, or in contrast, the Germans were very much dependent on horse-drawn vehicles, horses to draw their artillery and supplies. So, in that sense, you would have to ask, how could the Allies not win the war with logistic power and innovation that just outran the Germans? Okay, so this is the kind of thing that we're going to look at. The advanced technologies that help win the war, the logistics of how and why you support people and weapon systems in the field. Better design, better reliability, getting the supplies to them when the enemy can't. So, for those of you who are into learning more about the conflict rather than just where were the battles, who were the leaders, what's the geography, this will take you to a new and better understanding of how nations fight and win or lose wars. Data that you can perhaps use in a bigger understanding of world events today. Okay, thank you. Hope to see you there at the ILR class.